Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have missing Pamela Lynne Neal. She was only 22 years old. This one says she was about 5'4". Another one says 5'3". She weighed about 105 to 110 pounds. It was 1983, March 31st, 1983. I think her birthday was in July. You can pause this and read it if you like. She was she was at work. She was a bank teller, Key Savings and Loan in Englewood, Colorado. So she left to go take her lunch break at 2 p.m. And she lived right there, and she walked a couple blocks to another bank. She cashed a check. She went to the grocery store. She bought her some food to take home and eat and a lottery ticket. And she walked to her apartment to go in there and eat. She never made it back to work. I don't even know if she got to eat her lunch. Her roommate came home. Her lunch bag was on the table. Her shoes were under the coffee table, so she had no shoes on. Her purse was nearby, her wallet was there, her unscratched lottery tickets were there, and her apartment door was open. It says it was slightly ajar. So then what happened? She got home, she kicked off her shoes, and she was getting ready to eat and scratch off the lottery ticket. And did somebody say, "Hey, come here, come to my apartment, I have an emergency"? Or did they have a gun? Did she leave her door unlocked and somebody walked in behind her? Or was it someone she knew? Did she live on the bottom floor, the second floor, the third floor? Did somebody follow her home with a vehicle, or was somebody in her apartment waiting for her? I mean, I don't know if she locked the door, but I think maybe she did. And then you wonder, was it somebody that lived in the apartment next door, or in the building, or somebody that worked there, or who did it? Who did it? And there was only her lunch bag, so it wasn't like she was having lunch with somebody else. Did somebody follow her home from work? I got all these questions, and I just want to know what happened to this poor, young, beautiful girl. Why? Why? You know? Uh, longer than shoulder length brown hair, brown eyes. Scar on her hands, scar on her chin. Green and white patterned dress, tan colored hip length leather jacket, turquoise bracelet, and turquoise ring. 22 years old. I mean, she's like just a child. I'm older, so to me, I look at her and I'm like, wow. To me, it's almost like, because she's so young. She had her whole life ahead of her. She should have gotten the chance, to get married, to have children, to have a future, to have grandchildren, to have children and watch them grow up and go to school, to take them to sports if she wanted to take them shopping, to have grandchildren and spoil them. She never got any of that. 22 years old. Here's the Doe Network. It says that she was born July 18th, 1960. And this one says 5'3". It says the same thing. That's so sad. Foul play is suspected. I would think so. And then it has links to other places. Oh, here's the CBI. I have it towards the end of my tabs. And I don't think it says anything different. I think it says exactly the same thing. 5'3". Birthday July 18th. This is a Charlie project. And it says 5'3" to 5'4". Interesting. And let's see what else it says. It says she walked 2 blocks to another bank, cashed a check, went to the grocery store, got takeout food, apparently went to her apartment afterwards, never heard from again. Her roommate found her lunch bag on the table, her shoes under the coffee table, her purse was there, her wallet, unscratched lottery ticket, apartment door ajar. She lived quietly. She didn't go out and go to nightclubs and things. She didn't own a car. She walked to work. Her workplace was across the street from her apartment. She was born in Denver. She went to high school and graduated Cherry Creek High School. She attended Western State College. So she went to high school. She went to college. She's just 22 years old. I wonder how long she'd actually been out of college. And then she lived in Alaska for a year, then in Maine with her parents before moving to Englewood to take the bank teller's job. And then she disappeared. And who knows what happened to her. And we're going to look at some Jane Does, but I wouldn't know if any of them would be her. So there's Englewood. It's so sad. Okay, so the first Jane Doe I have, it's just, this says 16 minutes. When I first did it, it said 13 minutes. Now it says 17 minutes. I guess it depends on traffic. I would say it, because it's told me 13 minutes the other day. So I would say it's like between 10 and 15 minutes away. So close to where she went missing is this Jane Doe. She was found October 17th, 2013. And I know this Jane Doe could be almost anybody, but she lived less than 10 miles away from where this Jane Doe was found. So I just feel like maybe this one's her. Skeletal remains found in a cauldron in a vacated residence shed that was on the market to be sold. In a cauldron. Partial skeleton parts only. They don't have, it's Jefferson County. They don't have a year of death. They don't have a PMI. They're not sure of the race. But I think because this lady was so close, I keep thinking maybe it's her. There's another lady that kind of looks like her, but I don't know. I think this one's so close to where she went missing. So we'll look at some other Jane Does. There's a Jane Doe that was found in Hamilton County, Texas. She has a bit of a similar look. In 1983, estimated date of death is about the same time as that young lady went missing. That lady was 22. This says estimated to be 26 to 55 years old. Her height and weight is about the same. But it says brown hair with gray streaks, along with 25 barrettes. Size 16 blue jeans. It makes me feel like she might have weighed a little bit more than the other lady. I don't know. It talks about the clothing size, what she was wearing. The remains were found at 1108 South Rice Street in Hamilton County, Texas. This is really far away, but this woman died around the same time that she went missing. And so you can see what she looked like and what the Jane Doe might have looked like. I don't understand why they have the different hairstyles. Maybe they don't know what her hair looked like. And then the next Jane Doe we have is in Falls County, Texas. I think she might have been Oriental. They're uncertain of the race, but it says anywhere from 18 to 99 years old. They don't know how old she was. Her height was between 4'9" and 5'3". It talks about her clothing and what she was wearing. She had something, a black gray striped skirt and matching shirt with Chinese symbols on tag, and the number 9, size 4, maiden form underwear, several floral sheet sets. It's so sad. Talks about her clothing. You can pause it and read it if you like. Unknown hair color, completely bald. I don't know what they did with her hair or how long she'd been there, so you couldn't see her hair anymore. A necklace with a heart-shaped charm with a dragon on one side and a bird on the other. That with the Chinese symbols on the tag makes me think she might have been of, that might have had something to do with her ethnicity or race. And then we have this lady found in Brighton, Colorado. And she has similar facial features. She also kind of reminds me of a couple girls that ran away, so I don't know. But you see her facial features to me look similar. But this is years later. But it's still, she kind of reminds me of her in the face. I think it's like 10 years later. I can't even imagine. But like I said, she also kind of reminds me of those girls that ran away. I don't know who this woman is. It could be somebody completely different. Maybe somebody that wasn't reported missing. But she did have a similar look. Like I said, I still think that this girl might be the one that was like less than 10 miles away. Because that makes perfect sense to me. But I'm not going to leave people out. And she does have a similar look as far as her face is shaped and everything. So this this lady could have been anywhere from 18 to 35 years old. Estimated PMI was 1 year. So she would have died in 1993. I think that's like 10 years later, right? 1983, 1993. Yeah, that's 10 years later. So 5'3" estimated. So she's about the same height. The victim's remains were located in a field near 54th Avenue and Marion Street. She may be white, Native American, or Hispanic. They're not sure. All parts recovered: brown hair, possibly frosted or highlighted hair. Small stature. Silver spoon handle. Unknown silver friendship with hearts ring. I guess that's a ring. It doesn't say ring. Silver nugget, possible wedding band. I don't know. That's frightening. I wonder who it was. We have a Jane Doe found in Clear Creek County, Colorado, October 1995. Estimated PMI puts her to have died probably around 1993 to 1995. I don't think this one really looks like her, but I don't know. Located near Echo Lake in Clear Creek County. And then we have a Jane Doe found in Adams County, Colorado. I'm not sure if it's a Jane Doe or a John Doe. I'm not sure of the race. Found in a field south of 56th Avenue and Pecos Street. We have a Jane Doe found in 2022. I don't think this could be her at all, but I didn't want to leave her out. Estimated to be 30 to 58 years old and 5'2" to 5'6". So a skeletal remains found in an unincorporated area of Weld County. And talks about the clothing. Another Jane Doe found in Rye, Colorado in 2022. And scattered skeletal remains found by a property owner. And it talks about the clothing. And you can see the jacket. I don't know what year that jacket was manufactured or came out or anything like that. There's the shoes, and I don't know what year they were manufactured. I know they had shoestrings like that, though, way back in the day, or they look like shoestrings that they might have had in the 80s, but I can't imagine the clothing holding up and being outside for that long and still. And I don't know when the flashlight was manufactured, and then it has that little purse with a little clip, and yeah, they had purses like that a long time ago. So, in my younger days, I remember little purses with clips. And this lady, I don't think this is her at all, but she reminded me of her with her cheeks and the way her face is shaped, and she was so beautiful too, and I wanted to include her. She was all the way in New York, and she died hours earlier, the same year, December 6, 1983, the same year that young lady went missing. She was a little older than her. Homicide by gunshot. She was about the same height, maybe weighed a slightly bit more, but would have probably looked like she was about the same weight because, if you weigh if you're like 5'4" and you weigh between 110, 116 pounds, or even to 125, depending on your muscle mass, it's going to look about the same. You might wear the same size. Brown graying hair, though. And I don't know if she looks like her at all, but she kind of reminded me of her. So I wanted to include her as well. And it's really far away, so I don't think there's any way possible it could be her, but I wanted to include this woman because this has no evidence that she had worn jewelry before she was killed. A handwritten note from the Blue Boy Motor Lodge in Vancouver, British Columbia. Abbreviations and numbers were present on this note, but investigators have been unable to determine what it meant. Wow. It's really sad. The victim was discovered in a ditch along Route 17, Southern Tier Expressway, eastbound lane in the town of Ellery. The partially clad body was found by utility company employees at about 8:30. It doesn't say if it's AM or PM, probably AM. The victim had been shot once in the back, twice in the chest, and once inside the mouth. It says it's located in the westernmost part of New York State between Buffalo, New York, and Erie, Pennsylvania. It is believed the victim may have been from Canada or some European country. However, no reports of international missing individuals appear to match her physical description. Fingerprint searches didn't turn anything up. Initial reports from law enforcement say the victim may have been sexually assaulted, yet this remains unconfirmed. She had a V-neck camisole, inexpensive, manufactured in Italy, and non-exported. A green, brown, red checkered trench coat, expensive, reversible, to olive drab wool, size 40. This is unavailable in Canada and the USA. Must be European, possibly Italian, as their sizes follow a different scale than European sizes. Blue-gray wool, crew neck pullover, plaid wool skirt, handmade with various shades of brown, blue, and red. So here's this beautiful woman, and nobody knows who she is. So here we have Pamela Lynne Neal. You know that she had loved ones, friends, people that loved her and cared about her, and she went missing. And they don't know what happened to her. They've never been able to have a funeral, not a proper one. They've never been able to scatter her ashes. They don't know anything. They don't have any answers. And then we have all these other women, these Jane Does. They're all somebody's loved one, someone's family member, somebody who has people out there that are living and they don't know what happened to their loved one. And so if you have any information, even if you feel like it's just hearsay, you're not sure if it's true, it's just something you heard from somebody sitting at the bar drinking. Maybe you heard it through a family member. If you have any information whatsoever, let the authorities know. Give them that information. Write it out and email them if you want to. Write it out, mail them a letter. Make sure they have that information and let them decide what's relevant, what's important. And don't forget to pray for these young women and their families. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.